Yo, what's going on guys? Nasher here, and today I figured I'd bring you guys a different style video. Pretty much every time that I upload, I get comments asking what kind of software I use, what equipment do I use, how do I make my videos. I'm gonna go over every single one of those today and show you guys exactly what I use. This isn't gonna be for everybody, but I know there's tons of you guys aspiring to be content creators, and if this is just helpful in some way, I figured it'd be a good idea to make this video today. So I'll go ahead and grab the camera and we'll do a quick little tour of my entire setup here for you guys. Let's go. Yo, I look so young without the beard. Holy, I just shaved this morning. I don't know how I feel about this. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if I've ever done just a complete overview of my setup like this, but this is it. This is where I do all of my editing, all of my gaming, a lot of my recording, pretty much anything that doesn't involve actually going out and playing hockey is done right here in this place. One of the most common questions is probably regarding my PC, kind of what parts do I have in here, what am I working with? This is a completely custom built PC. I actually started out buying it from someone else. It had, you know, a pretty decent setup, but as I started using it and editing some videos, I noticed I could improve some things. So I upgraded the processor, upgraded the RAM, and now I have a pretty solid PC for gaming and video editing. In terms of what I have in there, it's definitely not the best of the best, but it does do what I want it to do. So we have an i7 6700K processor, AMD R9 390 graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of SSD, and then I have a 4 terabyte hard drive in there so I can store all of my footage and keep that without ever having to erase it. The next thing that I'll go over is kind of just my general layout of the workstation. So as you can see, we've got the double monitor setup. These are actually really cheap monitors. I think they were $100 each on Amazon from some brand named AOC. They're 1080p, you know, obviously they get the job done. I would like to upgrade those at some point, maybe get some 4K monitors in here, but like I said, these were cheap, they do what I want them to do, and that's pretty much all you can ask for. The keyboard, this is the Razer Chroma. Honestly, I just got it because I kind of like the lighting, and it's really customizable. You can do a lot of different things with it. For example, they have all these different features. Honestly, they're kind of pointless, but a ton of fun nonetheless. So this is the reactive one, so as you type, it changes colors. You can change and remap all the colors for every single key. It's a really good gaming keyboard as well. So that is that. I usually just like to leave it on the wave because it's looking fresh. I don't know, there's something about me, I just really like the LED lights in there. Now we will move over to my mouse. This is the Logitech MX Master. Honestly, I think this is one of the best mouses on the market right now. There's tons of nifty little features that you wouldn't expect in this thing. So I have a couple remappable buttons. The coolest part, I think, is there's this button right here that you can actually click in. This initiates gesture mode. So for example, if I click this button and then push up or push left, push right, push down, you know, whatever I set it to be, that will do certain things on the PC. Also, this spin wheel is nasty. It actually has a bearing in it. So once you spin it, it will keep spinning until you stop it, which is really cool if you're looking through a ton of files or going through a long page or something like that. For example, if I'm on Twitter and I need to go back a long way, I can just swipe once and this thing will literally keep going for days. So that's pretty sick. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the gaming side of things, and then we'll move over to the real life video side of things. So the first and probably most important part is the Xbox One. You guys know I'm always been an Xbox guy. That's what I'm rocking now. Just a regular 500 gig Xbox One, nothing special at all. Through the back here, we have the Elgato HD60. That is what I use to record all of my gameplay on the Xbox One. That allows you to record it in 1080p, 60 FPS. So honestly, that's perfect for what you need now. I think Elgato actually recently released the HD60S. That's gonna be very good if you're wanting to live stream. So the unfortunate thing is the HD60 actually has a bit of a delay on it. So if you're streaming, you have to actually delay your audio and delay your webcam if you want it to sync up. With the HD60S, it's completely fluent. So it's gonna go to your computer instantly and you can live stream directly from that. Next, we have my webcam. This is the Logitech C920 Pro. This is, I would say, probably the industry standard for webcams, 1080p, very, very solid. A lot of gamers use this. I've been using it for a while now and have not had any issues whatsoever. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna get a webcam, if you're planning on streaming or doing gameplay videos or anything like that, the Logitech C920 is the way to go. Actually, I should probably mention this now, guys. I'm actually gonna be moving very, very soon. We're still gonna be in the Columbus area, but we're moving to a place that has better internet. So officially in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna be streaming multiple times a night over on Twitch. If you don't follow me on Twitch, you definitely should. We're gonna have a ton of fun with NHL 18. My username is Nasher Live. Somebody took the Nasher 61, so we're stuck with Nasher Live for now. I'll put a link to that in the description. You guys can follow me over there. And like I said, we're gonna have a ton of stuff coming for NHL 18. So moving on to our microphone. This is the Audio-Technica AT2020. As you can see, I have a nice little clamp for it that allows me to move it around at my desk as I'd wish. This is a pop filter that kind of protects from those P's and P sounds, so those don't go into the microphone. Honestly, this is one of the best mics I've used. I've had this since back in like NHL 12, NHL 13 days, and it is still probably an industry standard when it comes to streaming. Lots of people are still using this mic, so I cannot recommend that enough. And the last part of my gaming setup, honestly, one of the most important parts is my headset. These are the Astro A40s and the Astro A40 mix amp. Honestly, I'd say that this is probably the most important part of the setup, is a good headset that's gonna allow you to use your Xbox and your PC at the same time. So essentially what this mix amp here is doing is I have audio going from my Xbox to the mix amp into my headset. Then we also have audio going from the PC to the mix amp to my headset. So I'm listening to gameplay audio, listening to music on Spotify for my PC, in a Discord chat with the guys, having that going as well. It's pretty much a must-have if you're gonna be doing streaming or gameplay videos at all. So yeah, that's about it for the gaming side of things. I guess the last thing would be these little acoustic panels that you guys see set up here. This is what I use just to kind of defuse the sound a little bit. You're gonna find if you're in kind of these empty rooms with these bare walls, the sound will echo back and go back into the microphone. So just by having these, this is kind of the direction my voice is going when I'm sitting down here. It's just gonna take the sound, defuse it into the pads, and then, you know, provide the best audio possible. So yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful in some way. If you're planning on getting into gaming videos, PC videos, anything like that, a lot of the equipment that I mentioned really is really good stuff, and it's not too pricey either. I would say you can probably start getting into making gaming videos for around 200 bucks or so with all this equipment, maybe 250. And you gotta think, if you're planning on doing this for a long time, that initial investment is not that bad for all the enjoyment, all the fun, and everything you're gonna get to do with it. So now it is time to move into the cameras that I use. I'll kind of take these out and just explain them piece by piece and what I use each of them for. The first camera I want to go over is the GoPro Hero 5 Black, probably the one that I use the most. Pretty much anytime I'm shooting a video outside, I'm going to be using this camera. Whether it's mounted on my head or down low, like if I'm doing a shooting video, I'll usually put this behind the shooting pad to get those low angle shots that you guys like. Pretty much an all-purpose camera when it comes to shooting action footage, especially hockey. Next up is the Hero 3 Plus Black. So this is what I use for all of my on-ice footage and some of the other angles outside as well. Honestly, if you're just now getting into GoPro hockey, I think going with one of the older GoPro models is the way to go, since the quality is still very, very good, and the price is gonna be so much cheaper. So this one, for example, this is now going on 3 years old. They've had the Hero 4 and the Hero 5 come out between it, but if you're still able to find one of these, maybe used on eBay or something like that, you can get it for, you know, around half the cost of the Hero 5, and it's still gonna look very, very similar. For example, if you guys have been watching my videos, I'm using this on the ice every time I play, mostly because I don't want to ruin my 5, because you guys know I have the hidden helmet cam, and this just sits right up against my forehead, no case or anything, so there's a good chance it's going to get broken, or the water's going to get in it and ruin it at some point. But for now, this does very high quality stuff. Like, you probably can't even really tell the difference between my on ice videos and my roller hockey videos, for example. Next up, we have the Hero 4 and the Hero 5 sessions. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of these. So these are made to be smaller and cheaper, but the thing about them is you really are losing quality. I've noticed, especially when you're in low light situations, for example, if you're at a hockey rink that doesn't have the greatest lighting, or a roller rink especially, those are not going to perform very well. So unless you're shooting outside in the daylight, perfect sunny day, I would avoid these pretty much at all costs. Personally, if I wasn't like partnered with GoPro or anything, I'd go with probably like a Hero 4 Black at this point. They're coming out with the Hero 6 Black soon, so you'll be able to catch one of those for pretty cheap. Alright, so we're coming to a close here. Only a couple things left. The camera that I'm shooting on right now, this is what I use for all of my just general shots, like general vlogs. If I'm doing a shooting video, this is the camera that's just sitting right behind me. This is the Canon T6i. Not the highest end camera, not the lowest end camera. I think I got it for around 750 bucks or something like that. Yeah, it's a very nice DSLR. I use it for some photography stuff. I use it for all my video stuff right now. It's honestly really, really solid. And the last two pieces of equipment, this is the beauty, my favorite drone at the moment. I used to use the Phantom 3, actually just recently upgraded to the Mavic Pro. This is what I use for all my drone shots. This thing is so small and portable. It is amazing. It actually folds up and fits into this case. So all I do is fold it up, throw this in my backpack with the remote right there, and we're good to go. Honestly, it is an amazing drone, and I cannot recommend this enough. As for this is what I use to record my audio on my camera. Usually, if I'm outside in a windy environment, this is what I use. It's a Rode mic with a dead cat on it. So this attaches to the edge of my camera and then provides crystal clear audio, even if I'm in the wind. The final thing that I should probably mention, since a lot of you ask, is the software that I use. So this is, honestly one of the most important parts. What I use is the whole Adobe suite. So I use Premiere Pro for all my video editing, Photoshop for all my photos and thumbnails, and I'm just now getting into using Adobe After Effects as well, which is more of the animation side of things. So you're gonna use that if you're doing, special transitions, special effects, stuff like that. Adobe actually doesn't allow you to purchase everything at once anymore. You have to use monthly payments. What I currently do is pay 15 to 20 bucks a month for the Adobe suite. I actually still have a student discount from when I was at Ohio State that allowed me to use that. So 15 bucks a month, and I get all of the Adobe suite, which allows me to make my videos the best that they can be. Honestly, I think Premiere Pro is the way to go. There's kind of a tough learning curve at the beginning especially, but once you figure it out, it's gonna have everything that you could ever need in a video editing software, and Premiere is without a doubt my favorite one, but it is the most difficult to learn, so keep that in mind. It's gonna take some time. Anyways, I think that's about it for this one, guys. I'm pretty sure I went over everything. If you have any questions for me at all, like I said, hit me up in the comments. I'll be answering questions there all day. We'll be back to hockey within the next month or so. Hopefully, this spleen is still recovering, but as you can see, I'm doing a lot better. I can at least stand up, move around, and live my life now. So that's about it. Thanks for all the love and support recently, boys. Sorry I haven't been able to make as much content as I'd like, but things are going to be getting crazy within the next month. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!